Wannabe YouTuber here, afraid to do YouTube, but taking action anyway, going for it. This video, my 9th in 9 days, is for all of you small business owners out there that are struggling, or those of you who are wannabe business owners, but still pretty much afraid to leave the comfort and security of whatever firm you're currently working for. So my heart goes out to you all. I've been there where you are. My heart is to help small business owners that are struggling build more successful businesses, or to help professionals like me, commercial real estate appraisal space, go out on their own and really build successful businesses. So I just got off the phone with a young man who, I won't go into details, but you know who you are, and this video is for you. You know, going out on my own was one of the hardest things that I've ever done. I'm a quintessential technician, a really good appraiser, but didn't know anything about small business. My wife actually went out on her own and went into business for herself 6 months before I did, and I was pretty discouraging to her. But I followed suit and went out and left the wonderful state of employeehood and moved into the self-employed ranks at the age of 50. And then pretty much for the next 10 years, worked for myself as a solopreneur. And I have to say it was brutal. It is much more difficult being self-employed than it is either being an employee or having a successful business. So I ultimately had some lights turned on upstairs through some books that I read and some coaching that I invested in, and ultimately build a very successful business for myself. Also helped build one of the largest commercial real estate appraisal franchises in the United States. So I know a little bit what it's like to leave the security of a job and strike out on your own, and then also what it's like to transition from a self-employed professional to a small business owner. And it's not easy. It is not for the faint of heart. However, done right and done relatively quickly, it's a lot easier than working for somebody else or working for yourself. So my passion and what I'm devoting the rest of my life to is helping small business owners build more successful, valuable, sellable businesses, hopefully businesses that are relatively stress-free, that they can sell and exit successfully, and hopefully earlier rather than later, so they can enjoy the fruits of their labor and their business building efforts and enjoy the wealth that they've created. So this video is really dedicated to a young man who's at a crossroads in his life and is afraid at some level of leaving the security of a pretty nice gig working for a professional firm and a very healthy annual income. And I counsel to you that that's a trap. All the security of employment and a steady paycheck, in my opinion, coming from the point of view of a 72-year-old who sold his business at the ripe old age of 70 for a very healthy 7-figure all-cash payday, is that the supposed security of employment and a secure, relatively secure, stable paycheck, whether it's on a salaried basis or, as most of us appraisers are, on a fee split basis, is really a trap. And and it's easy to get trapped by that and wake up one day and realize that you've wasted most of your life. So my fervent, heartfelt plea to you and anybody else who hasn't seriously considered entrepreneurship is to screw up your nerve, screw up the courage, and strike out on your own. And don't wait to get it all perfect. I didn't wait to get it all perfect with this YouTube channel. I saw a video of a man being interviewed who had basically gone out in his car with an iPhone and started recording himself because he was probably about ready to get fired at work because he was so passionate about macroeconomics in the lumber industry. And he started a YouTube channel that now has over 150,000 subscribers, and I think pays him a pretty nice, my guess is at least 4-figure, if not a nice 5-figure monthly income. But, my heartfelt plea is really to not wait. Don't try and get everything perfect. Don't waste your time trying to come up with the perfect client list. Don't work for the next 2 or 3 or 4 years trying to put together $20, $30, $50, $70,000 of startup capital. As smart as you are, as skilled as you are, with the reputation you've established at this point in your life, you can go out and borrow money to start up a small appraisal firm. So I'm a very, very strong proponent of building a small business that you control and that you can create into something really powerful and great that serves a lot of people's best interests, and not just your clients, your employees and your contractors and your vendors. You're providing them a living, and it really becomes like a family, and you've become like a father or mother to the people on your team. And, you're responsible for providing for them and their families. So it's an incredibly noble cause to go into business and to build a successful business. And if you do it right, in a very short period of time, a very short few years, you can build a business that is valuable, that is sellable, that is stress-free, that is systemized, and that is worth a lot of money, and that you can actually sell for a lot of money and either retire or go off and do something else. Start investing in real estate, building your own real estate investing portfolio, or start up a software company that you're passionate about, or a data service, or any number of concerns, and do something that you're really passionate about. Candidly, I was never super passionate about appraisal. I was a very good commercial real estate appraiser, I think, but I can't say I was passionate about it. Once I finally went into business for myself after I struggled for years and read some books that turned some light bulbs on upstairs, I got extremely passionate about what it means to build a really successful small business. And, there's a lot to it. It's not totally simple. It's complicated. But if you just take it a step at a time and focus in on one thing and start building the essential building blocks, before you know it, you have a team, you have a management team, you have people doing all the tactical work in the business. You don't have to do that work anymore. You can keep focusing your energies and your brain power and your creative genius on building a better business and solving bigger and greater problems and be rewarded for it. So I'll leave it at that. Again, you know who you are. I care about you a lot. Thank you for spending a couple hours with me on a Zoom call. And I wish you the very best. And if I can help you or anybody else in any way to fix a business that's not working, get some advice and strategies, some tips and tricks on how to turn things around, how to become more successful as a small business owner, whether it's in the commercial real estate appraisal space, whether it's in the residential appraisal space, Again, you may be a dentist. You might be a plumber. You could be a landscaper. I think small business owners are the bedrock of our society. You create more jobs than any other sector of the economy. And I just want to do whatever I can to assist and help you be as successful as possible. And it's Friday night, so I'm going to go take my custom cue. I'm going to go down to the billiard room at my wonderful development where I live, and I'm going to shoot a few racks. So we'll catch you on the rebound. Next video will be number 10 in 10 days. Thanks for letting me share.